fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
I woke drowning in silk in the scent of two men, bergamot and leather, danger and desire. The sheets clung to me as moonlight painted my body in jeweled hues, casting an ethereal glow on the room. I felt the softness of the fabric, the gentle caress of the night breeze, and the warmth of their bodies beside me. Kael's fingers traced my collarbone, possessive and cold, sending shivers down my spine. His touch was like a whispered promise, a reminder of the power he wielded and the danger that lurked beneath his polished exterior. While Reese's laugh warmed the space behind me, a low, husky sound that seemed to vibrate through every cell in my body, leaving me breathless and wanting more. Mine, Kael growled, his voice low and menacing, a sound that seemed to come from the very depths of his soul. Ours, Reese corrected, his tone light and teasing, a gentle rebuke that seemed to dance on the edge of a knife. But they didn't understand, the power was mine. Last night I'd been a librarian, surrounded by dusty tomes and faded manuscripts, my life a quiet, predictable routine. But today I held the fate of a kingdom in my hands, and the weight of that responsibility was crushing. The memory of my old life seemed like a distant dream, a fleeting glimpse of a reality that was no longer mine. Elise's assassination loomed, a constant threat that hung over me like a sword of Damocles, waiting to strike at any moment. But saving her would require more than cunning, more than cleverness or guile. It would demand I surrender to the fire building between us, a triangle of lust, loyalty, and something far more perilous. I thought back to the events that had led me here, to this moment, to this choice. I had always been drawn to the unknown, the unexplained, and the magical. As a librarian, I had spent countless hours poring over ancient texts, searching for clues and uncovering secrets. And then I had stumbled upon a mysterious tome, bound in black leather, adorned with strange symbols and filled with forbidden knowledge. The words on its pages had seemed to come alive, speaking directly to my soul and awakening a power within me that I had never known existed. I had felt it coursing through my veins, a potent, intoxicating elixir that had left me breathless and wanting more. And now, as I lay here, surrounded by the two men who had become my world, I knew that I had to make a choice. I could continue down the path of discovery, of exploration, and of magic, or I could turn back and return to the safety of my old life. But as I looked into their eyes, I knew that I couldn't turn back. I was in this now, and I would see it through, no matter the cost. "What do you want from me?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper as I turned to face them. Kael's eyes seemed to burn with an inner fire, a fierce, unyielding passion that seemed to consume him. "We want everything," he said, his voice low and husky, a sound that seemed to vibrate through every cell in my body. Reese, on the other hand, seemed more relaxed, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he smiled. "We want to know you," he said, his voice light and teasing, a gentle rebuke that seemed to dance on the edge of a knife. "We want to know what makes you tick, what makes you happy, and what makes you scared." I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized the true extent of their desire. They didn't just want my body or my magic, they wanted my soul. And as I looked into their eyes, I knew that I was willing to give it to them, to surrender to the fire building between us, and to see where it would lead. "I'm scared," I said, my voice barely above a whisper as I turned to face them. "I'm scared of what I might become, of what I might lose, and of what I might gain." Kael's eyes seemed to burn with an inner fire, a fierce, unyielding passion that seemed to consume him. "We'll be with you every step of the way," he said, his voice low and husky, a sound that seemed to vibrate through every cell in my body. Reese, on the other hand, seemed more relaxed, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he smiled. "We'll help you navigate the darkness, and we'll be your guiding light in the midst of the storm." I felt a sense of peace wash over me as I realized that I wasn't alone. I had them, and together we could face anything. And as I looked into their eyes, I knew that I was ready to surrender to the fire building between us and to see where it would lead. The fate of the kingdom and the fate of my heart hung in the balance, and I was willing to risk everything to see what the future held. I took a deep breath and let my eyes drift closed as I felt their hands and their lips on my skin. The world around me melted away, and all that was left was the three of us, lost in a sea of desire and magic. And as I let go and surrendered to the fire building between us, I knew that I would never be the same again.